My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm talking to you from the Swiss mountains today. We are going to talk politics today, and my goal today is to make sure that we all understand that there are no good politicians, bad politicians. There are no judgments of value to be applied to politics in general. Whether you are from the left wings or right wing or center, moderate, Republican, Democrats and so forth, at the end of the day, all the politicians populating the world today have a common denominator. They work for themselves. They don't really work for the citizens. For them, it's an opportunity to gather as much wealth as they can. As an example, Barack Obama multiplied his personal wealth by a factor 100 during his presidency, or close to it. Do you know any job on earth that is going to multiply your wealth by 100 in 8 years of work? Well, of course not. Fact of the matter is, human beings are all designed the same way. And the origin of politics is really coming from the African rift, like at least 30,000 years ago, if not 60,000 years ago, if not 100,000 years ago. And it started with the shaman, which were a kind of mix between a doctor and a priest. And they soon realized, the shaman, that they were able to gather a much better quality of life. They didn't have to go hunting. They were fed by the community and so forth. Though they were almost living as parasites, if I may say, with all due respect to the shaman at the time. But they were living like parasites on the back of the wealth of the food generated and hunted by the community in which they were evolving. And that's politics for you. And it's driven by the evolution of life, i.e., what is, for me as an individual, the best way I'm going to maximize my chances of reproducing, of living as long as possible, and so forth. And if my environment gives me an opportunity to secure my life and the life of my children for the next few years, of course I'm going to jump on the opportunity. And therefore, politicians, they cannot be blamed for using the infrastructure, the environment that we have put at their disposal through the constitutions of our states, countries. And if we are the champions of adaptation. We have basically gone over all the obstacles that evolution has placed on our path. And yet we are here discussing it, you and I, at this stage in time. So we are the champion of evolution. The environment has changed so many times during the evolution of life since 800,000 years ago with the first eukaryotes after the prokaryotes. We evolved to what we are today. So we are basically designed to adapt to whichever environment in which we are being placed. Now, the politicians, as I said, they're not good or bad. They're just taking advantage of a given situation today. And this situation, this setting in which they evolve, needs to be altered. We need to have constitution changes. We need to alter the constitution in a few areas. And the most important area is to redefine what is the budget that our government have access to in order to perform their administrative tasks. Because have you ever seen a company in this world that basically dedicates more than 10% of its budget to administration? Well, of course not. Companies are going to invest massively in distribution, in production, in research and development, but never in admin. Admin is a cost center. The administrative sector of a company is a cost center. It will never, ever be a profit center. Never. Exactly like our politicians. Yet, in our modern democracies, they give themselves the right to capture probably between 40 and 75% of the wealth being created in a given country. This is an institutional robbery. It's a robbery by the politics. And we need to have constitution amendments so that we limit to 20% at the most, the budget of the governments. That's going to be my conclusion for today. I will come back on those things because I'm just, at this stage in time, sending and planting a few seeds so that it can start growing in the year to come, in the month to come. I will come back on those subjects, but it is essential to understand that there are no good and bad politicians. They are all driven by their own interest because of the inertia of the evolution of life, which is constraining them to behave this way. So let's not blame them, no insults, no criticism. Let's try to long-term view, change the environment so that those people, which are people of good quality, can be put in the loop and contribute to what we want to basically do and make sure that our children will inherit. So, well, thank you very much for your very kind attention. May peace be upon you and all citizens of this planet. Peace out.